Hello and welcome to the College Fairs of Greater Denver. We're so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools with us here today. My name is Jenny and I'll be your facilitator. Before we get started, I have just a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the schedule on the website. This presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/Greater Denver. I'd now like to turn it over to our first presenter, St. Mary's College.
Hello, everyone. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Make sure I'm doing this right. All right, so my name is Rachel Meehan, and I am the Associate Director of Admission Marketing at St. Mary's College. St. Mary's is a small private Catholic liberal arts college located in Notre Dame, Indiana, which, as the name suggests, is right across the street from the University of Notre Dame. We are a women's college at the undergraduate level, and then we are co-ed for our graduate programs. So just a quick little visualization of where we are located and what makes up our student body. So as I said, we are a very small college. We're about 1,600 students, and you can see we're located right up there where that star is in northern Indiana. But about 63% of our students actually do come from out of state. So we do come from 40 different states and territories in 6 different countries. 22% of our students are students of color, and 27% of our students are actually the first in their family to attend college. So what that means for our students is that they do end up getting not only a great breadth of experience in terms of academics, but they're also meeting people from all over the country and all over the world. So part of being a small college like we are is that you get a very individualized experience. Our student to faculty ratio is 9:1. Our average class size is about 16 students. So our students get to know their professors very, very well. They cannot hide in the classroom, but that also means that they're very, very comfortable asking their professors questions and getting those questions answered. We have over 50 academic programs for our students to consider. Some of the most popular ones are things like nursing, which we did just renovate our facilities for nursing. So we've got some great new facilities there. Also things like education, business, a lot of pre-health programs, pre-med, things like that. And also some very unique programs as well. So we do have a dual degree engineering program with the University of Notre Dame. That is a 5-year program, and you graduate after 5 years with a degree from both Notre Dame and from St. Mary's. We also have a great speech language pathology program, both at the undergraduate and at the graduate level, and a student designed major, which is really sort of so that people can make the major that they envisioned. So if you can get the classes for the major here on campus, then you're able to sort of create that major for yourself. And as you may have noticed, I mentioned we are a women's college, and what that really means for our students is that all of the decisions on our campus are made with women in mind. So our students find that to be a very empowering experience. You can see on the screen how that sort of plays out. So I will mention these are stats for women's colleges as a whole, not just St. Mary's. But on the whole, our women's college graduates across America are completing graduate degrees at higher levels than their public university counterparts. And they also report that they feel better prepared for their jobs. So really just a great experience for our students being in that women's college atmosphere. And I will mention, I'm going to talk a little bit more about this later, but because the University of Notre Dame is across the street, we do actually have boys on our campus occasionally because they take classes on our campus and we take classes on theirs. So even though it is a women's college, that does not mean that there will not be boys. And the opportunities really are endless. So as I mentioned, we have a great relationship with the University of Notre Dame. We form a tri-campus community with both them and Holy Cross College. We're all within the zip code of Notre Dame, Indiana. And between those campuses, there are 510 clubs and organizations that our students can be a part of. So they can take classes on any of the campuses. Starting sophomore year, it's 1 class per semester, and senior year, it's 2 classes per semester. So we really like to say that our students kind of get the best of all worlds because they get this great personalized all women's experience at St. Mary's, but they're able to sort of supplement that as they would like with the experiences on the other campuses as well. So everything that you need is on the St. Mary's campus, but if you want to try football or something like that, it's right across the street for our students as well. They sit in the student section, and you can see about 20% of the Notre Dame marching band is actually St. Mary's women. There's also great opportunities to get involved in faith and spirituality. As I mentioned, we're a Catholic campus, but you do not need to be Catholic to attend St. Mary's, so you can explore your faith through our Office of Spirituality however you would like. Also, a lot of our students on campus take part in service. About 80% take part in service. So a lot of great opportunities there. And then we are D3 for athletics. We have 8 different varsity teams that our students can be a part of. We also have lots of club sports and things like that for our students to get involved in. And we did recently renovate our Angela Athletic and Wellness Complex. So there's lots of opportunities there. It does get a little cold in Indiana. There's some snow on the ground, but there's lots of great opportunities with the indoor track there. There's even a putting green in the basement if you're interested in doing golf in the middle of winter. So lots of great stuff there. And great opportunities to study abroad too. About half of our students do end up studying abroad, and really all of them could fit it in as long as they work with their advisor to make sure that it's possible. Because we have programs all over the world, spanning from our 2-week semester break programs, like our marine biology program down in Belize, that always sounds fantastic, all the way up to year-long programs like the one we have in Ireland. So some great opportunities there as well. So the admission process, you can see on the screen our requirements for our application and the things that we'll ask you to turn in. I will draw your attention to the test scores section that says unless you're test optional, because you can choose to apply without test scores. There's no detriment to applying without test scores. We just remove them from the equation when we're considering your application. Our deadlines are on the screen as well. You can see that there's 2 ways to apply, both early decision and regular decision. Our early decision is a binding decision, so we expect that if you apply that way, that you will cancel all your other applications and come to St. Mary's if you are admitted. But there are benefits to applying that way as well in terms of things like housing and class selection. Also, you can see 100% of our incoming students receive scholarships and or financial aid. So this year, our merit scholarships range between $20,000 and $34,000 a year. You're automatically considered for those scholarships when you apply, and you actually find out which one you receive in your admission letter. And that's over and above any need-based aid you might receive for the FAFSA or anything like that. So next step is really just to stay engaged. We've got some great visit opportunities available, so definitely recommend checking those out. We've got some great events happening this fall, or you can show up for an individual visit and we'll really tailor it to your needs. In addition to all of our virtual opportunities as well, things like this, or if you just want to get on FaceTime with a counselor or sit in on any of our virtual open houses or anything like that, that is available for you as well. And I believe we were doing questions at the end, so I should not have included a question slide. But thank you all very much.
Thank you, Rachel. And that's perfect actually, because all of the participants can use the Q&A function to ask questions of any of our schools and panelists at any time. So you can use that Q&A button and go ahead and ask questions there, and the schools will be able to answer it right then. And up next, we have Butler University.
Hi, everybody. My name is Julia Michaels. I am the admissions counselor for Butler University. I'm going to share my screen and present about Butler. So just going over some statistics for you guys. While we do have graduate programs on our campus, we are primarily mid-sized undergraduate university with about 4,500 students. Most of our students come from out of state, but we also have 45% coming from the great state of Indiana. Those numbers flipped about 10 years ago when our men's basketball team went to back-to-back Final Four championships. So we saw a huge increase of out-of-state students. So that's pretty amazing. And they're coming from 46 different states and 22 different countries, all factoring into our ever-growing 70% of multicultural students on campus, whether they're students of color or international students. One thing I love to mention in terms of academics is that we are one university, but we have 6 academic colleges. So the first one I'd love to talk about is the College of Communication. It is home to majors such as sports media, video broadcasting, and video production, as well as journalism. So a lot of great opportunities for our students to get hands-on experiences within our campus, but also venture out into Indianapolis, which I'll talk about more in a little bit. I also love to mention the College of Education because we are one of the only schools in Indiana to actually graduate our students with their certificate in either elementary education or secondary and middle education with a concentration focus. So that could be in the sciences, math, English, things like that. We are also one of the only universities that get first-year students in a classroom setting. So that is something that we're really excited about. And our College of Education students graduate with 100% placement rate. The College of Liberal Arts and Sciences is not only our oldest college on campus, but it's also our largest. So it's home to over 35 different majors, ranging from things in the social sciences. So think history, political science, anthropology, but also things like biology, biochemistry, and chemistry. So a lot of great opportunities present itself for students to do undergraduate research. So we just built a brand new science complex. It's amazing. It has a ton of collaboratory spaces. It also has a lot of research labs for our students. So if you are someone that's interested in pursuing research, you can definitely do that here at Butler. I also love to mention the College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. It is home to one of our only 6-year doctorate of pharmacy degrees on campus. We also offer majors in the health sciences and healthcare and business for those that are interested in healthcare, but maybe not the clinical side of that kind of field. We also have a physician's assistant master's program on our campus. So we see a lot of students come to Butler for their undergrad and stick around for their graduate degree in our College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. We also have a School of Business. So the Lacey School of Business has majors such as finance, accounting, marketing, and international business. So it's a fully accredited business school. So students take classes. They're also required to do 2 internships. This can either be in Indianapolis, or it could be in your hometown, or it can be across the nation. We have learning semesters in both New York City and Washington, D.C. So we send a lot of students across the country as well for internship opportunities. Finally, the Jordan College of the Arts is home to a lot of performance-based majors. So we have been currently ranked in the top 5 for our ballet program here at Butler, just behind Juilliard. We also offer majors in theater, in music, and arts administration, and arts plus design. So if you ever thought about being on the stage or behind it, the Jordan College of Arts might be a great fit for you. Really quick, living on campus is something that's important to us. You have 2 options as a first-year student: Irvington House or residential college. We actually require our students to live on campus for the first 3 years, but as a senior, you have the opportunity to live off campus as well. That's because we really foster an amazing social life on our campus. So we have over 150 clubs and organizations here at Butler. One of our biggest ones is also Greek life. I like to mention that it's predominant, but not dominant on our campus. We're also home to 18 different Division I sporting events. You heard me mention Butler basketball earlier, where you come from the Hoosier State, where basketball is huge. So we love to get out and support Butler basketball every single time we can, in addition to our other men's and women's teams. And then I've mentioned Indianapolis. We are only 5 miles away from the 17th largest city in the US. So while you'll have a residential college experience, you'll also have access to things like major sports teams and concert venues and a great food scene. So we love being so close to the city of Indianapolis as well. Now, our admissions process. People always ask me, okay, what type of scores and numbers do I need to get in? Well, ignoring the bottom 25% and the top 25%, these are what we are left with. So you can take a look at that scores. And if you're falling in between those majors, you are probably very competitive for admission to any of the colleges that I just listed off. Again, we are test optional though. So when it comes to the application, you can decide if you want to submit the ACT or the SAT if you think it strengthens your application. But again, that is optional. What we do require is that you either fill out the Common App or you fill out our own individual Butler application. We do not take preference to either or, and it's completely free to apply to Butler. We also ask for a writing sample or a personal statement, just anything that maybe tells us more about yourself, an experience that you've endured, or maybe something you're passionate about. And of course, we would love for your guidance counselor to send in your official high school transcript and your secondary school report. Again, in terms of optional materials, a resume or a letter of recommendation or 2 is something that we will take a look at, but again, is not necessary to complete that application. Finally, I love to mention important dates. If you walk away from this event remembering one thing, November 1st is our biggest deadline. It is our early action deadline. It is non-binding, but it also gives you access to our best scholarship consideration. So we offer merit scholarships ranging from $15,000 to $24,000 a year, and those are renewable for all 4 years. If November 1st comes and goes, you can also apply by February 1st for admittance to Butler, and you'll hear back from us by March 1st in terms of those decisions. Final thing, I already mentioned investing in yourself. That best scholarship consideration is going to be a November 1st deadline. Okay, I know we're saving questions for the end, so thank you so much for joining us, and I'm going to turn it over to our following schools.
Thank you so much. Up next, we have Wartburg College.
Hi, everyone. My name is Hannah Hagee, and I'm our regional admissions counselor for Wartburg College based out in Denver, Colorado. I want to share with you a little bit about Wartburg so you can know more about us if you are not familiar already. We are located out of state in Northeast Iowa. Wartburg is a small private liberal arts college. We have just about 1,500 students on our campus, and we're really focused on those small class sizes and the one-on-one relationships that our students can build with their faculty, staff, and their peers. We really want our Wartburg students to be valuable and involved members of our community at Wartburg and the world at large. We want our students to have opportunities to have a fantastic four-year academic experience, but we know that your college experience is more than that. So we want you to have the opportunities to be involved in sports or music or student organizations. We want you to study abroad. We want you to have internships. We really want you to have any and every experience during that 4 years as you prepare for your life after college. You'll see some other stats down here on the page. I like to point out we have over 50 different majors. Right now, our most popular are going to be business, biology, especially for students interested in going pre-med or doing our 3+1 accelerated nursing program, also known for elementary education, psychology, and music therapy. And then we operate on a 4-4-1 academic schedule. So that means our students will take 4 classes fall term, 4 classes winter term, and then we have a May terms the last 3.5 weeks of the year. If you're on campus, you would take one class for about 3 hours each day. But a lot of our students choose to study abroad during that May term because it's a shorter amount of time. Our students tend to be over involved on campus and have a hard time leaving for a full semester. So May term is a great opportunity for them to receive a course credit, travel with a group of students and a faculty member, and immerse themselves in another culture during that May experience. We have trips that go out to New Zealand, Costa Rica, tours around Europe, places in Africa and Asia, all sorts of opportunities for students who are interested in doing that during their college experience. You'll see some other statistics and numbers on this slide here. I really like to point out our 82% medical school placement rate. So if you are interested in med school, that is more than double the national average. So our biology program at Wartburg is very rigorous. Most of our pre-nursing students also major in biology, and they do a 3+1 accelerated program. So 3 years at Wartburg, 1 year at Allen College, and those students graduate with a dual degree. Their Bachelor's of Science from Wartburg and their BSN from Allen, and those students have 100% job placement after graduation. We also have a 97% success rate. So we survey all of our grads 6 months after graduation, and 97% of them are doing what they had planned with their bachelor's degree from Wartburg College, whether that be going straight into the workforce, going into grad school, taking a year off for Peace Corps or AmeriCorps or something like that. But we pride ourselves in preparing students for that next experience. You'll also see we have students from 38 states and 61 countries, and Wartburg is a college of the ELCA Lutheran Church, but we welcome students from all faith and non-faith backgrounds. We do have over 20 Christian denominations and world denominations represented on our campus. I said earlier that our students are over involved. Of our 1,500 students, over 700 of them identify as student athletes. Wartburg is Division III, so we don't offer any athletic scholarships, but our students still compete at a very high level at Wartburg and bring in a lot of national championships. We did just have 2 multi-million-dollar renovations done to our wellness center on campus, and the one that I think is the most exciting is our 2-story weight room addition that is equipped with the Elite Form technology, which is used mostly by professional teams and a few D1 institutions. Wartburg is the only D3 institution across the United States that has this technology on site, and that is very exciting for our athletes and our students within our health and human performance major. Next up, a little bit about music. We have over 18 different music ensembles on campus for students who are passionate about engaging in band or choir or orchestra. We also have pep band, some small ensembles, and a jazz band on campus. We also offer music scholarships. So if you are musically inclined and you would like to do an audition, you could earn up to $6,000 per year to be added onto your financial aid package. And then a little bit about student organizations. We do have over 100 student organizations on campus. You'll see some of the top ones highlighted here on this slide, but those range anywhere from organizations for politics, diversity, service, academic-based programs as well. So a lot of opportunity there. And then a little bit about our application process. Wartburg tries to make it super simple. If you are a senior this year, this is helpful for you right now. But if you're a freshman, sophomore, or a junior, our process is going to stay the same 1, 2, and 3 years from now. So you can take note and use this in the future if you decide you want to apply to Wartburg. Our application is always free. You can complete it online in about 10 to 15 minutes on our website, or you're welcome to add Wartburg to the common application. So super easy to do. All we need is your high school transcript. So we'll be able to accept you based on your high school GPA. And then if you'd like to submit a test score, you can, but we are test optional at this point in time and for the future. We are rolling admission. So that means we'll take your application whenever you want. We also don't have any deadlines in terms of making your college decision. So you can decide Wartburg is the place for you at any point in time, and we will have a spot for you on our campus. Our application is also non-binding, so it doesn't tie you into anything. I always tell our students, just send in an application so you can stay up to date on communication and scholarships and deadlines. And then if you decide Wartburg isn't the place for you, just let us know. In terms of scholarships, all accepted students will receive an automatic merit-based scholarship upon acceptance. This year, seniors are receiving $26,000 to $31,000 based on that high school GPA. And then you can qualify for more scholarships on top of that. So if you have a 3.5 GPA, you could come for scholarship day on campus and gain an additional $1,500 in scholarship. If you're interested in coming to our STEM visit day or our business visit day to learn more about those academic programs, those visit days all have $1,000 scholarships attached as well. If you're a legacy student, like if you've had a family member attend Wartburg before, you'd be eligible for a scholarship. Or if you know a Wartburg alum who would like to refer you, there's a scholarship for that as well. And finally, we already mentioned it, there's some music scholarships available. These are the kind of most general scholarships for our students, but if you're interested in Wartburg, feel free to reach out and we can talk in more detail on what those scholarship opportunities would look like for you. Wartburg will also encourage all families to file the FAFSA senior year starting October 1st, and we'll start sending out financial aid packages in mid-November if you've submitted your FAFSA already. You'll see some ways to stay connected here on this final slide, so feel free to follow us on social media and reach out if you need anything during your college search. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And again, a reminder to everyone that if you have questions for any of our schools at any time, feel free to use that Q&A function and they'll answer during the presentation as well. So feel free to use that Q&A function. Up next, we have Iowa State University.
Hey there, everyone. Thanks for joining our session tonight to learn a little bit more about all of our great Midwest schools. I'm Dan. I'm a regional admission counselor for Iowa State University. And a little bit about where Iowa State University is located for those of you that may be a little bit less familiar with us. We're going to be located right in the in Ames, Iowa, right in the heart of the Midwest, right in the center of Iowa. For students that are flying in, you may be flying into the Des Moines airport, very accessible airport. It's about an hour-and-a-half flight from BIA. And we're about a 10-hour drive from Denver, so a pretty easy drive as well. As you can see on the map here, we're surrounded by some pretty major cities like Minneapolis, Chicago, Kansas City, Omaha, St. Louis, to name a few. So when students are looking for those internships and co-ops and full-time job opportunities, that close proximity to those cities really helps and provides a lot of, or opens up a lot of doors and options for students. We are going to be a large university, so total enrollment at Iowa State is right around 31,000 students. Of those 31,000, we have about 26,000 undergraduate students coming from all 50 states. Over 100 different countries are represented on campus. In fact, we have over 100 Colorado students enrolled at Iowa State as well. So you won't be alone coming from Colorado. So we are a public land grant tier 1 research institution. We're also a member of the an AAU member university. We're a member of the Big 12 conference. We have Division I athletics. Iowa State really has some great top-rated academics, some rigorous academic programs. We're a leader in innovation, and we have a really beautiful campus. I would encourage you to visit if you get the chance. You're in the Ames area, and I think you'll enjoy your time spent on campus. Students are going to participate in have the opportunity, I guess I should say, to participate in about 900 different student clubs and organizations. You don't have to participate in all 900, but you can pick and choose the ones that maybe stand out to you. Each semester we have some like the Club Fest, so students can kind of explore those different clubs. Students have the opportunity to study all over the US through our through the National Student Exchange Program, as well as different study abroad programs. We have about 90 different learning communities at Iowa State. These really help to students that are entering Iowa State build those connections right when they step foot on campus and kind of build that community with students in a similar area of study or have a similar interest as them. A few quick facts about Iowa State. The first public veterinary school in the nation was established at Iowa State. Our College of Engineering has some top-rated programs, and we're one of the largest engineering colleges in the nation as well. About 91% of our students, or I should say our graduates, are employed or in graduate or professional school within 6 months of graduation. We have great career service offices on campus offering different professional development opportunities like mock interviews, resume building workshops, and then career fairs throughout the year as well. We have a great alumni network that spans the globe. So when you finish up at Iowa State, you have a great network of alumni there ready to support you, whether you decide to stay in Iowa, maybe move back to Colorado, or try somewhere completely different out. You have that great network already built in. And then students also love the location. Ames is a really great college town, kind of that quintessential college town feel, and yeah, just a fun place to be. At Iowa State, we offer about 100 different majors housed in 6 undergraduate colleges. Students study anything from kinesiology to architecture to engineering to business. We have a top-rated apparel merchandising and design program as well. I tend to get a lot of interest from Colorado and the West Coast in our architecture program, our aerospace engineering program, and animal science in our College of Ag and Life Sciences. We also have an open option program in our College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. So students that may not be 100% sure on what they want to study at Iowa State, that can be a good option to explore across the university before deciding on that major. Taking a quick peek at our application process, we are on the Common Application. You can also apply to Iowa State using our institutional application. We have rolling admissions, so our application is currently open for seniors entering Iowa State with an entry term of fall 2022. And we are a self-report school. So you can self-report your academic information like test scores, core courses, and GPA, hopefully saving you and your high school counselor a little bit of that valuable time. For admissions, we use a unique formula called the Regent Admission Index. And I'll go ahead and drop a link to our admission requirements in the chat for sake of time. We are going to be test optional up to students starting up to the spring 2023 semester. So seniors in the session, we are still currently test optional for you. Beyond that, we haven't quite made a decision yet, but we'll certainly keep you in the loop on that. A quick look at our automatic recognition awards. These are going to be for seniors. We have our Adventure Award. That's going to be our top level recognition award. And that's going to be $11,000 per year. Then we have our Journey level and the Quest level. And then for students who have parents or grandparents or great grandparents that are have graduated from Iowa State, in addition to those merit awards, we have the Generation Award as well. This is my contact information. Feel free to take this down. Again, I'll put this in the chat for you to have it as well. But thanks again for joining tonight, and I'll pass it off to Cornell College.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And again, participants, if you have any questions, this is your time to put them in the Q&A. And last but not least, we have Cornell College.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so much. All right, everyone. Hi, welcome to Cornell College. My name is Brady and my pronouns are he, him, his. I am the regional representative for Colorado, so I'll be your go-to admission counselor throughout this entire admission process. Cornell College is located in Eastern Iowa. We are a small liberal arts school of just over 1,000 students on campus. We are really well known for our one course at a time system, or our block plan. So the block plan is set up to take one course at a time. Instead of switching from English to science, history, and math all in the same week at a semester in college, you are fully immersed in one course at a time for a total of 18 days. You're in class Monday through Friday for about 3 to 4 hours a day in just one subject. With that, you're really able to be immersed in the subject you're studying. You're able to get to know the people in your class. We cap our classes at 25. We have an average class size of 15. And as an alum myself, I had classes as small as me and 3 other students. You're really able to get to know your professors, and if they're in your major, you're probably going to have them a couple different times throughout your career. So you have those relationships that are formed that will get you amazing internships, amazing fellowships, and other research experiences and opportunities there. We still have 4 classes each semester. You still graduate within 4 years. You're just doing it one course at a time. In addition to this, we are a small, close-knit community. We are a residential campus, so about 94% of our students live on campus all 4 years. That means we do try to foster a sense of community and belonging on campus. We accept all students of all identities and orientations on our campus, and we do try to make it a great community and supportive community for all. We are Methodists, but only by name, so again, we accept any spiritual, non-denominational, or not practicing spiritual or not spiritual at all person on campus to be a part of our community. So the first thing that I'm going to point out here is all the resources that we have available. And so we have our dining services located in our Thomas Commons. That's a central hub of student life in our community. That's where the Hilltop Cafe, which was rated 2nd best in the nation for college food a couple years back now. It's still very delicious food. Our chefs really believe in a farm to table, locally sourced as much as they can dining experience, and they try to switch up variety. They provide vegan and vegetarian options, gluten-free options, and try to match each student's dietary needs. We have residence halls splattered throughout campus. When I say residential campus, I don't want you to think dorm style living all 4 years. We switch our campus living singles to doubles to triples to quads. We have apartments, we have suites, whether they're 4-person suites, 8-person suites, we have houses on campus. They're all just campus owned. So when you're here living on a residential campus, you have options. That's not just a traditional double like you would your first year on campus. In addition to that, we have a lot of different supports on campus. Again, we have campus safety, we have health and counseling service. We offer short-term counseling services to help connect students to long-term counseling services if they need some. We have a chaplain on campus for any spiritual or non-spiritual needs that bring a lot of different speakers from around the world onto our campus to help educate students about different practices or just different events that have happened in the past couple of decades. In addition to that, we are a active campus. We are a D3 campus for athletics. So we offer a wide range of D3 athletics at the competitive level. So we don't offer any athletic scholarships. We do offer a lot of different competitive college level athletics. We also offer an art program and art major, as well as just art interest groups. We have music, theater, and dance on campus. They are very, very popular, and they, again, just due to the block plan, have the ability to double major. If you're interested in pursuing both the arts as well as science, you can do it on the block plan. Our most popular major in theater, and if you're going to double major in theater, our most popular double major in theater is biochemistry and molecular biology. We have a lot of students on campus who are both active in the classroom and then active in extracurricular activities. We have an awesome intercultural life office that really brings the campus together with a lot of different other activities as well. The great thing about the block plan is that classes are done by 3 p.m. So you can finish your class and go on to compete in athletics or go to your music ensemble or go straight to your interest club and just be a part of the Cornell community. In addition to that, We have a lot of different academic support. We have 3 different academic support studios. We have the academic technology studio, the quantitative reasoning studio, as well as a writing studio. But we also offer, if you have any learning differences, we do offer separate accommodation workshops with a person who's able to help configure that with your professors and help support you along in the path in college, as well as just separate tutor times. If you need a content tutor for a specific thing, they get paid to help you and you get free help for the class that you're struggling in. It's a win-win for everyone. We also have a lot of different opportunities for student advancement at Cornell. We have the Barry Career Institute, which does a lot for internships and externships, as well as fellowships, which are paid internships from Cornell to you. We have an expansive alumni network as well. At Cornell, studying abroad is absolutely amazing. Instead of studying abroad for a semester, you're only studying abroad for about 2 to 3 to 4 weeks at a time. So we keep costs low, and you're able to do it a couple different times on the block plan throughout your 4 years if you'd like. We have an Office of Off-Campus Studies that offer off-campus studies scholarships, so it does make it affordable. We have a lot of popular classes that go to Belize in the Bahamas when it's snowing cold up in the States in February. You're down studying coral reef where studying makes the most sense. We have women's studies courses and international relations courses that go down to India. We have a business course that goes to China. We have an art history course that goes to Greece. There's a lot of different opportunities for study abroad here at Cornell. In addition to that, we just put in a new science center. Russell Science Center has now been open for 2 years now, but it's state of the art. We do truly believe in just keeping our campus up to date. We are currently undergoing renovations of College Hall, as well as our multi-sports center and fitness center as well. Paying for college can be tough, so I urge you to apply to Cornell either with test scores or test optional. We've been test optional for 5 years now, so we have been able to really evaluate each student, whether they apply with test scores or whether they apply with 2 additional essays the same way. We offer merit scholarships anywhere from $21,000 to $34,000 upon acceptance. The FAFSA opens October 1st, which is tomorrow. So if you are thinking about filling the FAFSA out, tomorrow is when you can start doing it. If you have any questions at all, feel free to email us here at admission@cornellcollege.edu. Thanks so much.
Thank you, and thank you so much for all of our panelists here today presenting about their colleges and universities. We really appreciate you taking the time to speak to all the students and parents here today. Now we'll have some time for some Q&A, so I'll invite all of our panelists to come back on screen, and we'll have a question here. We may have time for a few questions. We'll start with this one. The first question is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? That's what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? So we'll go in the same order that we presented in. So St. Mary's College, we'll start with you.
I think the biggest advice I would give someone is visiting the colleges that you're interested in. Obviously, you want to make sure that they have the resources and the majors that you're interested in, but you also want to make sure that it's a place that you want to live for 4 years. So definitely recommend visiting.
Okay, so my quick piece of advice is to reach out to the lovely individuals, not only on this panel, but at any college or university that you're interested in, whether it's a smaller school or even a big one. We all have admission counselors at our universities that want to build relationships with you, that want to answer your questions, and want to help you navigate the college search process. Of course, we would love to see you at our institution, but the more important message is that we want you to find the best fit for you. So by building a relationship and starting a conversation, we can help you do that.
I always struggle with what to say because you never know what the people in front of you are going to answer. But my piece of advice would be to make your college search your own. Don't expect that you have to follow the same path as your parents or your best friend or the valedictorian of your high school. You're going to find, we heard me talk about the word fit. You need to find the college that's the right fit for you, not the right fit for someone else, because you really want to have the best for your experience that you can have. So just make sure that your college search is your own, that you don't feel too much pressure from anyone else on what to do and where to go and how to make it all happen.
Yeah, all great advice from my colleagues. like Hannah said, it's difficult having to follow up, but kind of similar to what Julia said, I think connecting with your resources, and one specific resource that I think is important to connect with is maybe current students at the institutions you're looking at to really get their perspective on what it's really like to be a student.
Just going to echo everyone else. I think reaching out to your admission counselors are huge. You're not in this alone. You have so many resources available to you for free. It is our full-time job to help you out. It is our financial assistance staff job to also help you out. It is a lot of different other school counselors' jobs as well to really help you through this process. So you're not alone. There's no such thing as a dumb question. If you are concerned about the process at all, if you have any question at all, feel free to reach out to us and we would love to answer.
That's all fantastic advice, and especially, saying we are all here to help you. That's our jobs, and that's what we love to do. That's great advice. All right, our next question is, what is one thing you want students to remember about your school? So you get a little more time to talk about your schools here.
Same order again.
Mm-hmm.
I think with St. Mary's, I just like everybody to remember the great community that you can have there, both with us as a women's college and then also with the tri-campus community that you can have with Holy Cross and with Notre Dame.
I think the biggest thing I love to talk about is while you're getting a residential college experience, you also have access to one of the nation's biggest cities with Indianapolis, only 5 miles away. So while you can have that tight-knit community on campus and be really involved, you can also explore the amazing opportunities that are in Indy.
I would also talk about opportunities. Wartburg is much more rural in Iowa than in Indianapolis if you're looking at your college options, but we really want you to be over involved. We want you to excel in that academic experience, but really build onto that 4 years and be able to do anything and everything that you want at Wartburg and in life beyond.
Yeah, and at Iowa State, I think there's a lot of great ways to get involved and a lot of experiences for students. One of those experiences, students have the opportunity to get involved with undergraduate research. Being a tier 1 research institution, there's plenty of opportunities for that at Iowa State.
Cornell College is just the block plan, learning one course at a time. Really everything else that's great about it kind of stems from that. You have an amazing way to get in touch with your professors, amazing internship research opportunities. You have the ability to study abroad, and it's all accessible through the block plan. So one course at a time is really truly a different way to learn, but it's a great way to learn.
Fantastic. Thank you all for sharing. And we actually have time for one more question. So we'll quickly go through this last one here. What is one myth you'd like to debunk on the college admissions process?
I think the biggest myth I'd like to debunk is just that it has to be a complicated and scary process. It doesn't have to be. Yes, there's a lot that goes into it, but you have a lot of resources on your side. So if you ever hit any kind of wall or get stuck on something, just call a friend, just call one of us, and we're happy to help you through, whether it's going through the FAFSA or the actual application or just any of the things that you need to do to prepare for college. We're here for you.
Okay, mine's pretty straightforward. I think the biggest myth I like to debunk is that just because a university like Butler has their own application doesn't mean we give that one preference over the Common App. So if it is easier to apply via the Common App and you can just add on these different schools, whether they're here tonight or there are other ones you're keeping in mind, don't worry about that. You can just send in the Common App. Just because we have our own individual one doesn't mean we give that one more preference.
I think there are a lot of myths or misunderstandings that out of state or private universities are more expensive than their counterparts. And that really isn't the case nowadays. So I just encourage people to not look at those sticker prices online, but really work with your admissions counselors through the whole process so that you can do the FAFSA, get your official out-of-pocket costs, and then at that point, compare your college options and not just go with what the world has been telling you for the past however many years.
Yeah, Hannah, I was going to say something very similar to that. I'm kind of blanking on myths now after my colleagues have gone, but I think just maybe not necessarily a myth, but something that's important to keep in mind in that college application process is just to keep it fun and don't let it stress you out too much. So.
Yeah, one myth I'd like to debunk is that we actually read your applications. We ask for your information because we're interested in learning more about you. Everything you put down, someone reads. So keep that in mind when you're writing that essay. Keep that in mind when you're putting all that information in. We want to learn who you are as an individual, and we want you as an individual at our school. So another one that I will add just quickly is test optional and test scores are the same. If you don't want to apply with test scores, that's fine too. Apply test optional. We give the same amount of merit scholarships. Don't be afraid to apply test optional.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for joining us today. We really appreciate you taking the time to be here with us. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 5-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. We encourage you to check back. We have another session right after this, and you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all of the other sessions recordings at strivescan.com/greaterdenver. Thank you very much and have a great evening.